How do I know if a fashion design or a piece of clothing is AI generated? This is one of the most common questions that I got in the comment section of one of my videos that I posted recently, where a potential client reached out with a picture of, I believe it was an AI generated dress, and they wanted me to recreate this dress for about $350. So how do we know? Now, if you had asked me this question a year or two ago, I would have said easy. But I have to confess, it is getting so hard to tell. Like even I have to like double take and make sure that this is not AI. And I question myself. I'm like, is this AI or is this a real person? Like it is getting so hard to tell. Now, I understand that AI is a powerful design and visualization tool where you can imagine something and then with AI, it helps you bring it to life. I love that, and that is creative and that's great. But my issue has always been with the integrity and just telling people the truth, disclosing that this is AI. In the past, we've had people stealing other people's work. And so not really representing or telling the truth about that piece, which in turn misleads customers. If this is like a brand or a clothing brand or a vendor that is selling these AI generated pieces. So that is my biggest issue, is just misleading people or not having full disclosure about the pieces that you are selling. So back to the question on hand, how do I know if a fashion design or a piece of clothing is AI generated or not? So my approach, now I'm of course totally different because I am constantly looking at different fashion designs. I work with clothing, so my eye is a little different. But if you are skeptical and just want to be safe, especially in this age of AI, it is not going anywhere. If anything, it is going to get worse. If you are looking at pieces, especially online, I would say guilty until proven innocent, or think of it as AI until proven otherwise. That's the approach that I want you to have. That's because you are you and I am me, and we have a different eye. And most of the times you get in trouble and then end up with me and say, I bought this piece on the internet and this is what they sent me. So always think of it as AI, especially now. Think of it as AI until you can prove otherwise. Okay, so that's one part. But what are some telltale signs that I can look for and help me to figure out if this is an AI generated piece or not? And like I said, it's getting so hard. It is getting so hard to tell. Actually, in the comments, let me know if you think that this is a real person or if this is an AI generated piece, and I'll tell you about it towards the end of the video. So we're gonna look at this brand. This is an haute couture by AI brand. So they actually don't make anything in real life. Everything is just AI generated. Their styles are AI generated. So this is a perfect example. I believe one of these online sites actually stole one of their pictures, posted it on their site, had a price, and someone bought it. And what was sent was far from one of those pieces. So how can you tell? So things to look out for. I would look at the models and look at how perfect they look. Their skin. Now, yes, there are amazing runway models that have gorgeous, gorgeous skin, but there's something about these AI models that has like a perfection to it. So look, if it looks like this, it almost looks like a doll. So look for overly perfect skin tones, no blemishes, nothing. It just looks all consistent, because I don't think that's the way human beings are made. We are made with, even though we look perfect, we are made with flaws. I know there's makeup, I know there's photo editing, but there's something like even how our skin color transitions from one point, from the elbow to the wrist, and just how the light hits that. There's a little bit of imperfection with human beings, whereas the AI does not have that. Everything seems to be seamless. Their skin, it's almost like it has a glow to it, and it almost, you can tell that it doesn't look real. It looks like a doll. So again, keep in mind, think of it as AI until proven otherwise. So that's one thing you should look for. Another thing is just unrealistic construction details. So yes, these pearls and all of that look good on these pieces of clothing. But if you think about it, so if you have so many of those pearls on a piece of clothing, think about the weight. If something is going to weigh down, is that the way it's going to look like in real life? Probably not. I know if I had like 1,000 pearls all over a jacket or a coat, it's going to be heavy and it's not going to flow, or it's not going to lay the way it is on those pieces. So also just construction, what is on that piece, and is it mimicking what it would do in real life? It might, with a bit of construction, clothing engineering, and all those things. But realistically, those things should be heavier than they look. And so it's not realistic. So again, assume that it is AI. Another thing to look out for, proportions. Strange body proportions. Like if you look at the person, again, yes, there are models who look like this, but some of the times you will have models that have extremely small waists, and then of course like the wider hips, and you're like, okay, that looks good, but how do they move without toppling over? Like how, like it just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem realistic the way they're proportioned. So that's another thing to look out for. Now, again, the everyday person isn't looking at that. I can see those things because that's what I look every day. I'm looking at clothing pieces every day. I'm looking at models every day. And so I can pick that. But I mean, if you're looking for a piece of clothing, I would say start doing your due diligence and look for these things. And then the biggest thing, if this is a clothing brand, like I said, yes, you can bring or you can use AI to help visualize or design your pieces. But what use is it if you can't see these pieces on real people? We are in the era of the fashion influencer, and everyone wants to take a picture of their piece, what they're wearing, all of this, get dressed with me. So chances are there is someone who should have either gotten a piece from there, either through a gifting, or they purchased this piece. So if you don't see any of these pieces on a real person, then I wouldn't be in a rush to be ordering or buying or wanting that piece, because yes, they look amazing on whatever AI models there are, but what does it look like on a real person? Where are the reviews? What do they have to say? So yes, always look out for reviews, just reviews about the company, reviews about the pieces. And I would be a bit more comfortable if I had that. All right, so this is the thing that I was saying. It is so hard to tell whether this is AI or not. I looked at this video and this page on Instagram. I was like, this is definitely AI. This is definitely AI. Because I was like, look at her skin, flawless. Look at the movement of that piece that she's wearing. I'm like looking at this and I'm like, no, this is definitely AI. This is not AI. This is not AI. I took a closer look. I'm like, okay, I can see just the way the fabric flows. I guessed like what type of fabric they would have used. To me, it looks like an organza, some kind of organza. And I'm like, okay, I can definitely see this moving and flowing in real life. And then when I looked closer at the models, other than the first one I was like, she's AI, but she's a real person. I looked and I was like, okay, they don't have as much of that sheen and shine as like the first model had. So that kind of told me, okay, that is not AI. But of course, I went ahead on this page, just did a bit of research. And yes, these are actual designs. You can look at the construction of the pieces. Now, these are not pieces that you would find for like $50, $100, $500. Just the construction that goes into these pieces. It would be an insult. The construction, the work, I'm sure the hours that it takes, the design process, the thought process, and someone should go ahead and list this for like $100. Really? So it's not just about, recreating the design, but like the labor, the amount of work, the thought process, the design process, all of that should cue you in to say, this is not a cheap design, or this shouldn't be a cheap design. This one I feel could be AI. I'm not too sure, but this doesn't look like a real person to me. If it is, they probably like digitally enhanced or did something for them to appear like that. So yeah, it's hard to tell. Even I had a hard time. All right, you're probably saying, I'm not going to be buying any haute couture pieces. I'm going to be buying everyday pieces, formal wear. What about those? How do I not get scammed? How do I know that they are not AI generated? So perfect example, this site, which is a notorious scam site, Laura Girl. And I get a lot of people sending me pictures and videos of dresses from there. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? You already know, I've told you. So clearly that is an AI generated video and model. On the picture, it doesn't look so much AI, but as the video starts to show and move around, or the model starts to show and move around, it looks AI. Just polished skin, flawless skin, the way the clothing pieces move, just the proportion of the model just kind of looks unrealistic. Some of them, hers looks good. Some of them just look distorted. There's something about the models that looks off. And your eye is going to tell you, like your brain and your eye are going to say, okay, that looks good, but there's something off about it. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. So I'm like, okay, and you get scammed. These are all over Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So just be, I don't know, just be careful. Like I said, AI until proven otherwise. I'm trying to look for a video that could possibly be a real person. And there, I see that dress, this one right here. And that, it could be AI, it might not, but this looks more realistic than the other one before, even though it doesn't show the head. So I'm just going to click on it and go to the website and see. Okay, so I like that the dress is, okay, move out of the way. I like that the dress is on a mannequin. So they probably put that dress from the mannequin onto an AI model. I don't mind that, as long as the dress, the piece is actually there and not a dream or a fantasy that you were buying. I like that, and I would probably trust this. Looking at the price, okay, for that, I feel like that's a little cheap, but for that price, it's probably coming from Europe or maybe China. I would say, okay, there's reviews. There's actual reviews with pictures. So yes, I would trust this site more than I would trust the Laura Girl site. Only because, again, it has picture reviews. The dress looks like it's an actual dress on a mannequin, and I don't know if they probably use an AI model. Oh, this could be a real, actually real person. So yeah, there's just something that's telling me that is real. These guys, no. And to give them a fair comparison, I'm going to go to the website, see if it has any reviews, and then we'll go from there. So it actually has reviews. It says 6 reviews, photo 1, and there's the person. They put in a picture. But that dress, tell me, does that dress, let me move to the side just in case I'm in the way. Does that dress, look at that dress on her, on a real person, look like that? So sometimes you kind of have to lower your expectations. I know probably for that price, you're not going to get that type of dress because they're cutting corners on a lot of things. The design, maybe the quality looks like it's a lower quality from what's on the picture. But then again, that's what happens with AI. That's what happens with AI. Like you have no realistic view or images of what it can look like. So yeah, it's your money. You decide whether the reviewer posted is fine with you. So another notorious one, X Plus Wear, they are notorious for stealing designers and influencers' pictures and posting them as their own. Now they've kind of moved into AI pictures. So let's just take a look. I did a search on this. I couldn't find any reviews for that piece. So I went ahead and did a Google search, a Google lens search, to see if there was anything that came up on the internet with that piece. Now there was a few. I see that one there, and I see that one on TikTok, but I did go to that one, and it was another AI generated model person. But I did find what I ordered on X Plus Wear, I guess, versus what they received. You make me feel like a fool. What? So that is the piece that they received. There you have it. You make me feel like a fool. I've been scammed again. About 2 months ago, I ordered 2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sparkly. That's just a print. Like, that's just fabric. No! Oh no. It's dirty. It's dirty. There's a random sequin in there. Good. Hang on a sec, I'll put them on. Why does it look like I'm in a cult? Come join us. Okay, I'm feeling snatched though.
thought this was all encrusted diamonds. Now that I'm looking at the website, this does just look like a print, but I thought this was all like gold flakes or diamantes, you know what I mean? So wait till I show you the second one, but I can accept fault for this one. Also, these weren't cheap. These are like a couple $100. What the heck is going on? This is harrowing. This is the stuff of nightmares, people. I look like an off-brand Elsa. Like it's Elsa, but she doesn't have the license to sing the real lyrics. Let it snow, let it snow. It's giving handmade. Like the person who made this, it was their last day on the job. Both these.
Oh, I gotta de-influence you about this real quick. This company is called X Plus Wear, and they were coming up like crazy in ads on my phone. We love a size-inclusive brand, and they had a bunch of like fun pieces, so I decided to place an order for my birthday. So when I tell you this is what I was promised, like studded. Look at these ostrich feathers on the sleeve, like gorgeous. And this is what I received. Absolutely not. Sad confetti cake, Gertrude McFuzz. What is this? Next we have this one. Stunning, not stunning. I don't know what the proportions of like your body would have to be to like make this make sense. You're gonna get my butt if I turn around. Why is this gigantic? This is like another dress over here. What is happening? And then I was very excited about this Karma is my boyfriend moment. Except, like, Karma is my bald spot. Like, what? Even if you don't even say it, like, even if I place them back there, then you got a bald spot up here. It's bad. It's bad. Like, why? The only thing that is redeemable at all is this festival two-piece, which actually looks pretty bomb, especially on camera. I have shorts on underneath it.
So there you have it. I don't know if I answered anything or confused you even more, but when you are looking at online shopping, I've done a few videos kind of showcasing or warning you about just the scams that people run online and just these scam websites. So it kind of still applies. So this time, instead of the stolen pictures and then you being in the what I ordered versus what I received situation, consider AI in that group as well. So I would go with a mindset of this is AI generated unless I can prove that it isn't. And then the same tips that I've given before about online shopping, make sure you check reviews, make sure there are picture reviews that seem legit. At least you need to see a person, several people in the piece of clothing that is presented. If you can't find that, do a Google search about the company. Right now, there's lots of reviews, and if it's a scam website, you're going to find that information on the internet. Go to their Instagram or social media platforms and see where they are tagged. Usually, people will either be showcasing their pieces or giving a bad review about their pieces. So there is a lot of information on the internet that you have access to. Just be diligent. Don't be all willy-nilly trying to get rid of your money. Like, you're spending your hard-earned money. Do you want to be donating it away for pieces that you have no guarantee that they're either going to arrive as they have shown in the pictures? So just be diligent. Do a little bit of research. You can actually, if there's contact information on these websites, contact these websites, these vendors. Have it, like, communicate with them and see how they sound like. If they sound scammy, then they probably are. If they sound like a reputable company with good customer service, not getting frustrated with you with your millions of questions. With some of them, like, you'll ask a few questions and then you end up being blocked, or all of a sudden you have no access to the website. So things like that kind of tell you, okay, these guys are scams. So just be diligent. There's so much information on the internet. Of course, with the tips that I give you, if it looks too good to be true, if the models look so polished that they don't look real, they look like dolls or extremely photoshopped, then they probably are. If you can't find these pieces on real people, you should be wary of that. And then there's some that are kind of like whimsical. Some pieces are whimsical, fairy-like. If you look at them and they don't look real, they look like they could be from a fantasy movie, then they probably are. And if they can be recreated, they're not going to be recreated for like $50, $100, or $300, because a lot of work goes to constructing those pieces for them to look that amazing. So like I said, I don't know if I confused you or if I did offer you some helpful information, but yeah, let me know if you have come across these AI generated fashion designs, clothing pieces. Are you one of the people who bought them? Have you been scammed? Let me know your stories in the comment. I will see you in the next video.